Another thing I wanted to just touch upon is this whole idea of conspiracy theories, because it's become an enormous term applied to things, yeah. And of course, some people are vulnerable to believing kind of like outlandish, paranoid things, yeah, which get spread around. And on the one hand, there's that, but on the other hand, this term conspiracy theorist is used as a kind of pejorative term to basically completely invalidate what a person is saying if it happens to be against a certain sort of set of interests, which are taken to be, a consensus piece amongst that section of the population, or which are taken to threaten their sense of identity in some way. For instance, as a kind of like as a liberal person or as a conservative or what have you. Yeah, they they use this term conspiracy theorist, which on the one hand essentially says you don't need to even look at this because I'm telling you it's all false. On the other hand, it kind of says this person is stupid, mentally unstable, what have you. Now the thing is that with human beings, something doesn't have to be a conscious conspiracy for it to look like a conspiracy, because most conspiring actually in human life is semi or subconscious, yeah. And most things that people talk about as conspiracy theories, well, they're kind of beyond the scope of human beings. We're just not smart enough to pull that off most of the time, yeah. So it's I find it frustrating when people assume that something is a conspiracy when it's more easily explained by incompetence and subconscious collusion, which people engage in all the time. Yeah, that's one thing. But the other thing is that, of course, people working together behind the scenes of the public is a sort of conspiracy by any kind of like, common sense definition. And this is occurring all the time. It's pretty much that's kind of like the civil service, basically, or its equivalent. And when you go on to things like non governmental organizations, it's the whole organization, yeah? None of these things are accountable, yeah? So, and if they all start, and if they do coordinate and work together, well, this. This is a kind of conspiracy. This is a conscious conspiracy, which is to say it's a working together. Yeah. But in some cases, things that are labeled conspiracies are out in the open. They're actually advertised on the internet. And yet when you mention you're told it's a conspiracy theory. And a great and a great example of that is this whole idea of the Great Reset, which people were told was a conspiracy. Yeah, because you'd gone and read the World Economic Forum website about the Great Reset and basically related what it said. And you were told you're a conspiracy theorist because you believe there's a Great Reset. Meanwhile, the World Economic Forum actually has Great Reset as an actual policy which it has on its website. Now, that's not conspiracy, yeah? That's simply people working together to sort of like, serve whatever ends they believe that they have to serve, yeah? Or want to serve, yeah? My opinions of it are probably what you can guess anyway. But the point is, this is, you get these weird things working around when you have people talking about conspiracy theories, yeah. So I think those are the two things I just wanted to sort of like point out, really. One, like a lot of things that people term conspiracies are actually simply sort of like subconscious collusion or consensus mentality working out, which happens all the time. Um, and two, there's a lot of stuff which is that people do work behind the scenes on things, and the public don't necessarily know about them. That's just the nature of how a lot of societies work. Yeah, um, you know, you have to look underneath the car hood or bonnet, yeah, to see what's running the machine. It's not on the outside. That's how cars are designed, and that's also how governments are designed as well. It's part of how we work as human beings at this stage in our development. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. I've got to go and see to my dog, who is just being very, very annoying. Okay.